The City of Vandalia City Council meeting for October the 6th is now called to order. And the first part of our agenda will be a moment of reflection, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Would you please stand for the Pledge of the Flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Council, before you have the council workshop minutes of September the 15th, also the council meeting minutes of September the 15th, and the council special meeting minutes of September the 15th. Are there any additions or corrections to any of those minutes? If not, they stand approved. Tonight we have, for the communication petitions and awards, we have two proclamations. So I'm going to come down here in front. And we always have a problem here because these mics don't work really well. So we're going to have to sort of move the mics around or whatever. So can you hear us? Okay. You have a very, very important disorder here, a medical disorder that I cannot say the name of it. And I have tried to practice and practice. And so I'm going to ask you, the two of you, just to go ahead and explain what it is and the importance of it and why we should consider this month a very special month.
Okay. Hello, my name is Jennifer Mason, and this is my daughter, Alexis Lett. She was diagnosed with a form of dysautonomia, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. It's better known as POTS, P-O-T-S. She was diagnosed just after turning 12 years old. We believe her POTS was caused by an illness. After seeing many doctors throughout the state and after a very long 8 months, she was finally diagnosed. It has now been 5 long years, and she continues to struggle on a daily basis. POTS is not rare, it's just not well known. POTS is estimated to impact 1 in every 100 teens before they reach adulthood. POTS is more common in girls, but boys can get it too, and so can adults. There are an estimated 500,000 to 1 million people living with POTS in the United States alone. POTS is not contagious. You can't catch POTS from hanging out with someone who has it. POTS is one of many different disorders of the autonomic nervous system, collectively referred to as dysautonomia. The autonomic nervous system controls important things like your heart rate, breathing, maintaining proper blood pressure, digestion, sleep cycles, body temperature, and many more. Due to the malfunctioning of the autonomic nervous system in POTS patients, POTS symptoms can include tachycardia, chest pains, shortness of breath, lightheadedness, fainting, nausea, vomiting, headaches, feeling shaky, too much or too little sweating, brain fog, and much more. The lightheadedness caused by POTS can make a POTS patient feel like they are going to faint when they are standing up. Sometimes they do faint. This makes it hard for people who have POTS to stand sometimes. While it can be very hard for people with POTS to exercise, POTS patients are not lazy. In fact, many POTS patients were athletes before they got sick. The fast heart rate the POTS patients experience when they stand up is like the heart rate you would feel if you ran a marathon. Imagine feeling like that all day, every day. It's exhausting. While some POTS patients can continue with work, school, and social activities, about 25% of POTS patients are so sick that they cannot work or attend school. Many POTS patients will get better over time. However, some remain sick with POTS indefinitely, and some are progressively get worse. Currently, there is no cure for POTS. There are some treatments available, but they do not work for all patients. Dysautonomia International is raising money for POTS research so that we can find better treatments for all POTS patients and hopefully sometime find a cure. We would like to just thank you for your time and all of your support. It really means a lot to us.
Thank you, and I would like to just continue on here with a proclamation that we do have, and it's whereas to increase the awareness of POTS can help patients get diagnosed earlier and can help foster support for individuals and families coping with the disorder. And whereas we seek to recognize the contributions of the professional medical community, patients and family members who are working to educate our citizenry about POTS in Vandalia, Ohio. Now, therefore, I, Arlene Setzer, by the authority vested in me as the mayor of the city of Vandalia, do hereby proclaim October 2014 as POTS Awareness Month. And so I hope that this will bring awareness and to a lot of people, because it certainly did to me also. So
Thank you very much.
congratulations on this. And yes, and would you like to introduce, I know you have a whole family of support here. Would you like to
do.
introduce any of them to?
Yes, Alexis's father and his girlfriend are in the back, and her daughter, her stepdad and grandma, and her little brothers here, aunts, uncles, nephews, and a few friends.
What a support you have. This wonderful, just wonderful. So congratulations and the best to you on finding a cure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Photo. He wants to get a photo. Okay.
Sorry.
We're going to do this because our mic was out of order again. So we'll come over here. And there is another proclamation this evening, and this is a yearly one, and I really enjoy it. How many of you were at the fire open house on Sunday? You're kidding. You missed a wonderful experience. Every year it gets better and better and better, and you learn more and more and more about the wonderful, not just the facility, but the people that work there and all of the equipment that we have and the great work that they do for us. So come on up here because I have a proclamation so that we can have Fire Prevention Week here. Whereas the City of Vandalia seeks to encourage and promote programs that aim to improve the health, safety, and welfare of its citizens, and whereas fire is a serious public safety concern both locally and nationally, and homes are the locations where people are at greatest risk from fire, and whereas Vandalia's first responders are dedicated to reducing the occurrences of home fires and home fire injuries through prevention and protection, education, and whereas the 2014 Fire Prevention Week theme, Working Smoke Alarms Save Lives, test yours every month, effectively serves to remind us that we need working smoke alarms to give us the time to get to our safety. Now, therefore, I, Arlene Setzer, by the authority vested in me as the mayor of the city of Vandalia, do hereby proclaim October the 5th through the 11th, 2014 as Fire Prevention Week. Working smoke alarms save lives. Test yours every month in the city of Vandalia, and urge the residents to test their smoke alarms at least every month by pushing the test button, and to support the many public safety activities and efforts of Vandalia Division of Fire Services during Fire Prevention Week of 2014. There you are. Thank you. Thank you very much. You missed something, because Batteries Plus was down there, and they were giving out free batteries for your smoke detectors. See, we all work together. Go ahead, Ken, you want to say something?
I did. Nearly 2/3 of every fire death that occurs in the United States have homes that do not have working smoke detectors. In our most recent fire that we had in the apartment building, there were 6 apartments. 5 of the 6 apartments did not have working smoke detectors. They were either missing or they were inoperable. We did a neighborhood walk over the weekend, and we visited 87 homes, and we were permitted in 42 of them. And of that, we had 8 smoke detectors that needed batteries, and then we replaced 5. And then we had a lot of folks that were not home. So we can't stress the importance of having working smoke detectors in your homes.
You're right. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Next on our agenda are the public hearings, of which we have none, and that brings us to comments from interested citizens. So if there's anyone in the audience who would like to make a comment to the city council members, would you please come to the podium, state your name and address for our records, and give us your comment? Seeing none, we'll continue on with the city manager's report, starting with the special council meeting on October the 8th. Mr. Cruzy?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Again, I just wanted to remind council and the residents, again, council will be holding a special meeting on this coming Wednesday. It will begin at 6:15 in the large conference room. Again, the purpose of the meeting is to discuss and review Vandalia's merit-based pay plan and to take any action necessary should council deem appropriate. Beggars Night is going to be held on Thursday, October 30th from 6 to 8 p.m. The Lions Club Parade will be held on Tuesday, October 28th. The parade will form at the baseball concession stand at the sports complex at 6 o'clock. Again, and the parade will begin at 6:30 p.m. And finally, our leaf collection pickup plan is ready to go. Again, council was provided a map that shows the route numbers and the collection dates. Again, for leaf pickup, the plan, or again, the map and schedule is also available on the city's website at www.vandaliaohio.org.
Thank you. There are no action items this evening, so that brings us to our old business, which there is none. And we have Resolution 14-R-58 by title only, please, Mr. McDonald.
Resolution 14R58, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into that certain cooperation agreement amendment with the Montgomery County Board of County Commissioners in furtherance of that certain urban county cooperation agreement originally entered into by the city based upon the approval granted by council in the resolution number 93R13.
Thank you, Mr. Cruzy.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Again, Montgomery County has been designated by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development as an urban county, and therefore receives and administers community development block grant and home program funds for all political subdivisions in Montgomery County, with the exceptions of the cities of Dayton and Kettering. The city of Vandalia initially entered into a cooperative agreement with Montgomery County in 1994, which was amended again in 2012. Again, it's once again necessary to amend the cooperative agreement to ratify new HUD requirements that prohibit local jurisdictions from providing either CDBG or home funds to another local jurisdiction in exchange for any other funds or credits.
Thank you very much. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 14-R-58 as read.
Second.
It's been moved by Vice Mayor Forrest, and second by, I think it was Councilman Lewis?
Sure.
What, I just.
was, it was.
Okay, thank you. That we do approve Resolution 14-R-58 as presented. Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Bressman?
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers?
Yeah.
Councilmember Blakesley?
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Fars?
Yes.
Mayor Setzer?
Yes, and the motion passes 7-0. Resolution 14-R-59. Mr. McDonald, by title only, please.
Resolution 14R59, a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. The Montgomery County Budget Commission has approved the city's property tax rate of 4.14 mils for 2015. The city's inside millage is 1.84 mils, and that's comprised of 1.54 mils for the general fund, with an estimated revenue of $493,565, and 0.3 mils for the police pension fund, again with an estimated revenue of $96,149. Again, the city's voted outside millage is 2.3 mils, and that goes to the general fund with an estimated revenue of $737,143.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 14-R-59.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Ayers and is seconded by Councilman Bressman that we do approve Resolution 14-R-59 as presented. Comments or questions from anyone? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Ayers,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Bressman,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Farst,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passes 7-0. Resolution 14-R-60. Mr. McDonald?
Resolution 14R60, a resolution authorizing the City of Vandalia to submit an application for federal MAP 21 funds through the Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission.
Thank you. Mr. Cruzy?
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, this resolution does authorize the submission of 2 funding applications to the Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission for the resurfacing of the Airport Access Road and the Dixie Drive Streetscape Phase 1 project. Again, the first project does involve the resurfacing of the Airport Access Road within the city's corporate limits from US 40 south to the Peters Pike Bridge in 2017. The estimated cost for this project is $958,000, or $958,217. The funding application does request $268,376, or 21% of Surface Transportation Program funds. The city's financial responsibility for this project, if funded, would be $85,000 for engineering in 2016 and $689,841, or 79% of the construction cost in 2017. The second project is Phase 1 of the Dixie Drive Streetscape project from National Road South to the library in 2018. The estimated cost for this project is $754,439. Again, this funding application requests $350,000, or 46% of the project cost in transportation alternative funds. The city's financial responsibility for this project, if funded, would be $75,000 for design and engineering in 2017 and $404,439 for construction in 2018.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 14R-60 as read.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Bressman, second by Vice Mayor Farst, that we do approve Resolution 14-R-60 as read. Are there any comments? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Councilmember Gerhard,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Bressman,
Yes.
Councilmember Ayers,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Farst,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passes 7-0. We do have an ordinance this evening in its first reading, and that is 14-28. Mr. McDonald, by title only, please.
Ordinance 1428, an ordinance to revise appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Vandalia, Montgomery County, Ohio, during that calendar year ending December 31, 2014, and amending Ordinance 13-17.
Thank you, Mr. Cruzy.
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, this ordinance would authorize additional appropriations for the 2014 budget as follows. In the general fund, an additional $3,000 to account for the purchases that were offset by the EMS stretcher grant, an additional $9,200 to account for emergency repairs to the ladder truck, and an additional $9,050 to account for the replacement of equipment that was damaged as a result of the lightning strike on July 23rd. Again, and these purchases will be reimbursed by Maverma, less our deductible. an additional $7,000 in the OMVI Indigent Fund, and this is to account for the Adam H's board payments. Again, that was higher than what was originally appropriated. An additional $350,000 to the Healthcare Trust Fund, and this reappropriates healthcare-related expenses that were reimbursed by the city stop-loss carrier for medical expenses that exceeded the individual limit. An additional $100,000 to the Stone Quarry Crossings projects, the Municipal Public Improvements TIF Fund. Again, and this appropriates funds for the distribution of TIF revenue to the school district. An additional $200,000 in the Water Fund, and that's to account for additional payments to NAWA for increased water consumption. Again, these costs are offset by revenue from the sale of water.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance 1428 in the first reading.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilman Blakesley, second by Councilman Lewis, that we do approve ordinance 14-28 in its first reading. Comments from council members? Seeing none, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Gerhard,
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis,
Yes.
Councilmember Bressman,
Yes.
Councilmember Ehlers,
Yes.
Councilmember Blakesley,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Fars,
Yes.
Mayor Setzer.
Yes, and the motion passes 7-0. We have no ordinances in their second reading, nor do we have any emergency ordinances, and that brings us to the reports from boards and commissions, starting with the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board minutes of April the 16th, the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board minutes of May the 21st, Planning Commission meeting of August the 12th, Public Art and Vandalia Committee minutes of August the 19th, Vandalia Cultural Arts Committee minutes of August the 26th, the Board of Zoning Appeals minutes of August the 27th, and the Golf Advisory Board minutes of September the 23rd. Are there any comments about any of those minutes? Seeing none, we'll start then with our council comments. Mr. McDonald, did you have any comments?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Mr. Cruzy?
Nothing this evening.
Councilman Lewis?
I have none this evening, Your Honor.
Thank you. Councilman Blakesley?
It's good to see Jerry back. A couple things. It was interesting to know about smoke detectors and being in the business of life safety. Not too many people also know that when you go to sleep, something else goes to sleep, and that's your nose. So it's even more important at night to have a smoke detector, a working smoke detector. So I'll echo those same comments that prevention folks talked about was change your battery and then test your smoke detector, and it's certainly a life protector. So that's the public service announcement, which kind of leads me into the next item, that as I was looking through the agenda and saw that Beggars Night's coming up, it reminded me that it's coming up on the anniversary of the Vandalia mini tornado. And it reminded me, too, that we need to be prepared. You know, that night, the safety services of the city did a fine job, but also the citizens did a fine job of helping themselves. And you can't discount the fact that you need to be prepared. So as the tornado season in the late fall and then again in the spring, so just be prepared. Public service announcement.
Thank you. Mr. Gerhard?
Just that I was very excited and happy to see Jerry when I walked into the meeting tonight. I'm glad you're doing well. Yes. That's all.
Councilman Ayers?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Councilman Bressman?
I just briefly want to say something about the Parks and Rec experience I've had, and I guess I'm going to try to tell it from my side. I stepped in, they didn't have a coach for the boys' wings soccer, and I had coach last year, and season's over now, and I'm sad about that because I just got more out of it than I think any of those kids did. And yes, we won. Everybody got a trophy. Our record was 10-1-1, and they did that despite me. I mean, all I can do is, I look at the talent and I try to put them in the right position. And just what an excellent time it was. I don't push guys to win. but I push them to do their best, and if everybody works as a team and does their best, well, as it turned out, we won. Now, last year's experience when I was in it, we didn't win till the last game of the year, but then we won the tournament. And so everybody knows Hank. Well, last year Hank said I was a sandbagger. But anyway, the bottom line is I stepped in this year. I wasn't going to coach, but it was such a great experience. And that's what I'm trying to maybe get out there is we could always use voluntary help for the park and rec, for coaches or whatever. And I think that there's parents that could really get into it, and they're going to find out that the benefits they get out of it are much more than the time effort. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Forrest.
I have some more public announcements. So, when you walk out into the lobby, you'll see one of our cultural arts committee members' artwork. Her name is Sandra Deerdoff, and this weekend, Vandalia is going to have the first artisan studio tour throughout the city. It's 6 different locations, about 11 different artists, 4 of them here at the city building because they don't have actual studios. From 12 to 5 each day. You'll find some pamphlets out on our board out in the hallway, or you can get on the city website and there's a PDF with the map and the locations and so forth. So please take a moment to think about coming out this weekend. They would enjoy having you in their home and studio and to watch them work. That will be interesting. Another item, I've been out. I had a reason to walk door to door with looking for addresses for the last week, and I noticed how many houses did not have house numbers available. So concerned me whether the police and fire have another means for making sure they're going to the right home. A lot of people didn't have them on their curb any longer and were not on the front of the house, so it might be a discussion for a workshop next time. Also, I'm in Rotary, and some other in this group are also, and October's our month to man the food pantry. And just so that all of you know, soon I think you'll be getting a Boy Scout bag at your house. The Vandalia Butler Food Pantry, which only serves Vandalia Butler area, is in desperate